Ladies, gentlemen, hip hop heads, welcome to the Terror Dome. You already know what it is. We squad up. Got Sean with me, got AG with me. Fellas, how are we doing? What's going on?
What's good? What's good? Beautiful Thursday. Beautiful Thursday. What's up,
AG, what's
chat?
good?
Oh, you're it, man. Beautiful Thursday. Work grind. We here now, though. We about to
Okay.
get into some business.
Make sure you click like and subscribe to our page. The following is growing daily. We appreciate all the love and support, all the people behind us. For those of you who aren't aware, I've jumped back into the Discord thread. Y'all are like really messing up my morning flow with all the messages when I have my AirPods in. Been ignoring all of your stuff. Adriel, I don't know where you're getting this free time from exactly, but we'll have that conversation behind the scenes, for another day. Anybody got any quick notes, words before we get started?
Nah, just real quick, just as a reminder, last week's show we talked about AJ Snow coming on. He actually coming on next week. So AJ Snow will be here next week for next week's show. Those of you who are not familiar with AJ Snow, get familiar real fast. You will love the interview we got lined up for AJ for next week. But we also we talked about it being on this week, but it's actually next week. So I apologize for any inconvenience for anyone, but AJ Snow will be here next week.
Just gonna chalk that up to some scheduling conflicts. How are y'all feel about the album? Are y'all enjoying the album?
I
Enjoying the
love
project?
it. I love the sound. I love the sound.
Sonic's dope.
He was talking about it for a while. He was prepping for it for a while. He felt good about this one anyhow, and I can see why. Like sonically, phenomenal. Great production. AJ's in a pocket. You can tell he's growing as an artist because now he's starting to find his groove. He's starting to find like what his niche is as an artist. And I love when you see things, when you see stuff like that, when you see an artist get to that maturation process, when they got it, now you got to see what's going to happen after that. So I'm excited for his project, to be quite honest.
AG?
Same sentiments, man. Like sonically, it was dope. We was actually talking about that in the Discord, So, I can't wait for him to pull up next week, and be able to pick his brain a little bit about how it all came together and everything. So looking forward to that one.
I'm going to triple that notion and proceed with the motion. We actually have to get started off with some somber news. Tito Jackson just passed away a couple days ago. Gentlemen, if I could, I'm going to kick off right quick. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Too often when we talk about the Jackson family, a lot of jokes are made about the family that is not Mike and Janet, as in the supreme talent. But let's make no mistake, this is arguably the most talented family in music history. And all of them were talented singers, musicians, songwriters, dancers in their own rights. They just never reached the highest levels of Mike and Janet's level, of course. And I think the one who always caught the brunt of the jokes, unfortunately, was the gentleman who just passed. So I would like you all to reflect and recollect on not only my sentiments, but just his life. AG, what you got?
I mean, it was a sad day. I texted, our group chat when I first heard out about the news, and just the sentiment that we was just saying last week. It seems like every week we're coming in here having to report the news of one of our legends, passing away, and this week is no different. And to your point, I was thinking about that earlier, man. Tito in his role with the Jacksons was the butt of a lot of jokes, but that can't take away from the talent that he was, you know what I mean? Because in the group, he stuck out. He had his own role, playing the guitar, him and Jermaine as well. So, I just think that he probably is not recognized as much as he should be, but supreme talent and was an integral part of the Jacksons uprise. And overall, it was a sad day, man. I still don't think the cause of death has been released yet. Correct?
Not that I've seen. I haven't seen any tea leaves on that.
No,
Sean, what you got? How are you feeling about the passing of Tito Jackson?
Man, it's sad, man, because to your point, Cool, like you said, like he became like the butt of the jokes at times of the Jackson Five. And he might be one of the most talented ones out of the Jackson Five, if not the most talented. If you really, as a musician, if you think about it,
If you want to talk, his like actually being able to play instruments. Yeah.
Exactly. And he's self-taught, and starting to hear stories about him, and you hear that he was the one that, created the inception of the Jackson 5. If it wasn't for Tito, we may not have gotten the Jackson 5. He was the one that was, going to his father saying, yo, I can play this instrument. I can play the guitar. And that gave them the spark to say, my kids may have something. And it started with Tito. It started with Tito having that courage to go to Joe and say, yo, I want to do this. And my brothers, they want to do this too. So hearing that story, it get lost in the shuffle because you have the big personality, God bless the dead of Mike. You have Janet. You even have Jermaine to a certain extent, right? And you have LaToya. So you have different personalities that outweigh a very humble and really just more of an introverted personality in Tito, where he was never the one in the spotlight or looking for anything like that. He was just the one that played his guitar, had his jokes with his brothers behind the scenes, but never was on the forefront. And I'm glad those stories starting to come out now, but I hate the fact that it's coming out after his death.
When you said he was the one that went to Joe, it made me think that probably would make him the one that's most like Joe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like being bold enough to go, like, everybody knows who his father is. A lot of jokes are made about that too. But Joe wasn't the type of dude you played with. So like him being the one that was bold enough to actually even approach dad, like on some, like, yo, nigga.
Yeah.
Isn't he the third one though? Aren't Jackie and Jermaine older than Tito? Correct.
I think Tito was second to Jackie.
So Tito's second. So it's Jackie, then Tito, then Jermaine.
Yeah, I believe so. So.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think Rebe was the one who's
Rebe's
like the oldest, I believe, and she was the one that's the least famous out of all of them, I would say. But
yeah.
Would you guys say this? Like, every team needs a great glue guy. Would y'all say that Tito was the glue guy for the Jackson 5?
I think so.
I like that.
I
like that a lot.
Because he seemed to have that spirit, like, that anchor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's a good way to remember him, actually, AG. It's like, the Jackson 5 is one of the, biggest and best groups that we've ever had in music history. And if he's the glue guy, to transfer that to hip hop terms, that would make him like the Quan of the crew.
Right.
Right. Like not the biggest star, but like the guy that actually, if you actually think about what the crew represented, might be the embodiment of the crew the best. And I like that for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're going to slide now from a passing to a retirement. Well-renowned ESPN insider Adrian Wojnarowski has decided to take a job at his alma mater, St. Bonaventure, correct? Alma mater, St. Bonaventure. He's going to be the general manager of like the entire athletic program, or is it just the basketball program?
He's actually going to be of the entire program, the basketball program. I'm sorry. Yep. Entire basketball program.
You know what I thought about today when I saw this? Plugs I Met by Benny the Butcher. That's what I thought about. I thought about Plugs I Met.
Yeah.
Because what I really see from this, fellas, is that, well, Woj is going to end up being the general manager of an NBA franchise one day, or an NFL franchise, because he's plugged already.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is actually the starting point for him, starting with his alma mater, like going back home, so to speak, is the start of him actually making his power move, as in, like, I'm more than an insider. Like, I can run these franchises better than most of the people that I'm reporting about since 2017, I believe, for ESPN.
Yep.
And so, like, I'm looking at the big picture, and I see Woj, like, this is a very big boss move. This is a very bossy move, especially the way the ESPN is prone to let people go after X amount of time anyway. Woj is like, no, I'm going to parlay my cachet into a power move that's going to lead to the real power move, which is, I think, him running an actual professional organization in any sphere. Because when I actually, like, think about who he is and how he reports and the inside connections that he has, it's like, no, I can totally see him running an NFL or NBA franchise in about 5 years. What say you, Sean?
Yeah, man. I read that he I think he turned out $20 million from ESPN to do this.
Mhm.
And one of his colleagues was saying that when they had a conversation with him, he said he was just tired. He said he's tired because, you know, he was on top of the game for so long. And he said, just imagine taking a shower with your phone in the shower every single time because you're trying to get information before everybody else get it. And you're beating everybody to the punch. Waking up in the middle of the night looking at your phone to see what happens so you can beat everyone to the punch. So you can drop the Woj bomb. And that's the price of being great, what you're going to sacrifice. And he sacrificed for such a long time, and he became the greatest of all time when it comes to all of that. So this is a retirement from him, from the media aspect. And like you said, Coop, I think this is more of a introduction into the other facet that he's going to get into later on. I think this is just the beginning of it, maybe just more of a reprieve to pull away from the stress and the rigors of having to try to beat everyone to the punch with, you know, with content or just, you know, news, and just being ahead of everybody with like the real news and not just fake stuff and fervor, but like honest to goodness, like truth bombs, the Woj bomb, if you will. So I think this is going to be like a big step for him to come back later on when he's ready to actually run the franchise. Absolutely. If he decides to do that, the guy got money, so he's good. He ain't worried about it.
AG, what you got?
I mean, yeah, y'all summed it up. I love that for Woj, but I'm gonna take another route. Like I'm really upset about the fact that he won't be with ESPN no more because he brought a certain level of credibility and integrity to that conglomerate at ESPN. Like a lot of things you would see in the rumor mill, but I know I always took the stance like, yo, unless I see Woj reported, it's not fact. You know what I mean? This is just rumor. You know what I mean? You got these some of these other analysts over there that got multiple sources. My sources say this, but they just be capping and saying wild stuff or whatever. But Woj would be the one, like, he wouldn't report it till it was like, pretty much the ink was drying on the paper on a lot of stuff. Like, he was, and like you said, Sean, he would be the first one to do it. And look how in the loop over all these years he's kept us with the latest, in sports. And, I'm going to be sad to see that go because he was the voice. So now who do we look upon to be that, to have that level of credibility and that level of integrity? Because I can't pick out anybody personally.
I think when you talk about credibility, AG, when you said that, my epiphany was he's probably the most credible journalist ESPN has had in the last 2 decades.
Easily.
In terms of credibility, in terms of like, if he says it, the chances of it happening are like literally at a clip that even for an insider is extremely high. Like I would say 85 to 90% of the stuff that he said happened.
Yep.
And the rest of these guys be, hitting the mark and then shooting the blank. You know what I mean? So I think in terms of credibility, this does give ESPN a hit. The people who are responsible for making ESPN popular, unfortunately, sometimes aren't the most credible people working for ESPN.
Right.
But you're only as credible. As your sources, and that's why it's good to be close to your source, but not friends with your source necessarily.
Yep.
So I think this is a loss for them, but I'm looking at Woj's big picture. I'm like, this is super bossy. Like, it's one of those moves that inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So on to some more somber news, even though it's in a positive light. Rich homie Quan got a day in Atlanta down here a couple days ago, guys. I want to hear some outside perspective before I do some inside digging. But do we feel like that artists just in general get more love when they have passed?
I hate it, man. I hate it. What's that line that Jada had?
Dead rappers
emotion. Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. It's unfortunate because from what I get, and Coop, you can probably get into more details about this. From what I gathered, they weren't really loving him like that up until that time. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like they turned it back on him. Some of them did. You right? And when this happens, not everyone is want to, circle back and be like, oh man, this is crazy. Let's give him a day. But where was that love and that appreciation when he was here? And not saying that they shouldn't have given him a day of he didn't deserve it, he didn't earn it. It's just that it's unfortunate that it had to come to a death before any rapper, not just Rich Homie Quan, but anyone, to start getting their flowers after the fact, when you should be giving their flowers, during their run and even after their run, or if you know that they're struggling with certain things. They knew that Rich Homie Quan was struggling with drug abuse. He said it. They knew it. Everyone talked about it. But again, now that he's gone, now they want to have the Memorial Day for him, which is a great thing for Atlanta, a phenomenal thing for Atlanta, a phenomenal thing for his family and all those that love him and cherish him. But those things should have happened on the front end as opposed to back end.
AG?
No, I'm with Sean 100%. Like, he pretty much summed it up with those sentiments, man. Give people their flowers while they can smell them, especially in the community that they're from. Like, outside of their community is a different thing, but inside your own community, you have to take care of home first and, give people their flowers when they can smell them. And, I'm glad they're doing this and it's well deserved, but, and you'll be able to speak to this more, Coop. I'm with Sean. Like, maybe he didn't feel that love, while he was here with us, on Earth. You know what I mean? So, and we've seen this happen before. I think, the same thing was kind of with Nip, So, but
I respectfully think Nip got more love while he was here.
Yeah, I mean more than Quan, but similar situation. It was his, his own hood was his demise. You know what I mean? But he did get more love after his passing. It ascended his legend, in Cali and the rest of the world after his passing. And it's a shame it has to be that way. A lot of our greats, you have to ask yourself, like, where would we, put them at if they were still here today? Because once you reach a certain, if this is a word, martyrdom, once you become a martyr, that's like, that's a different thing. So it takes you to a different level. But, hopefully his family, he's not here to feel the love, but hopefully his family can feel the love, that he's getting now from the city of Atlanta, and hip hop game in general.
So I'm going to piggyback off of your Nipsey correlation a little bit, but I'm going to kind of take it down a different road. I think if Nip was here, the West would sound different musically right now, because I think he would be the guy.
Yeah.
Because to me, Victory Lap is like such an appropriate title for how great that album is and what a moment he was about to have. That he and his family got stripped of first, but we as just people who love hip hop and love just a great story, a great rapper, a great album, a culmination of all of those things. I think he's what the West would sound like had he been here. Rich Homie is what the new Atlanta sound sounded like. So in a lot of ways, the sound that often gets critiqued coming out of this city, in a lot of ways, he's the author of that sound on a national level. Not saying locally, because local guys are gonna, infight about that forever, and not just in Atlanta, like anywhere. This situation is a little closer to home for me than usual because one of my dear friends is one half of, well, actually, I'm close with both of them. The people who actually did Rich Homie Quan's first tape that got him put on is the Yardies, which are Chris and Matt. Those are actually two of my good friends. I actually went and sat with Matt. I'm actually the one that gave Matt the news that Rich Homie had passed. And I want you to understand, like, he knows his family. They know each other's families. Like, they've known each other since they were, like late teens, early 20s. Like, niggas in their 40s now. So I actually went and sat with Matt because, him and Rich Homie had a falling out over money a long time ago. And, quite frankly, Matt was upset and unhappy with how he and his brother were handled. And, I'm literally sitting in Buckhead with him at his crib. And, we're just talking about how, well, like, the song that they produced was #2 on iTunes that day. And I was like, and I just told him, I was like, well, you don't even have anything to be mad at now because he's not here, and so it's just like really, really, really unfortunate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just seen my man, he was just kind of like stuck in the days. He's like, I've been spending all this time mad at this nigga about some G's, you know what I'm saying? And now he's not even here. And I'm like, yeah, so like life is precious, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that the business got handled properly, but it's like I was just telling my man, and Matt was talking about coming on here. It was just his birthday, and he had actually went up top to New York like for a little bit. But I had planned to bring him on to kind of just talk about Rich because, like, he knows Rich and knows his people personally. But for those of us that know Rich Homie's situation, any way that we know it, I'm gonna tell you like Matt's mother told him. Well, thank God that you didn't end up, with him for too long because, he had some issues and, we don't really know the true cause of death. I mean, they're saying it was an overdose, but it's like, when stories like this come out, it's like brother got one story, wife got another story,
Right. Right.
Black love is tenuous as always. It's a rough situation. I do like the fact that he's actually getting some shine. My cousin used to do his hair. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like I'm tied to him a couple different ways, even though he and I have never crossed paths. But for the most part, very integral to the Atlanta music sound of the modern day era.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first person. Like the first time that I heard Thug was with Rich. You know what I'm saying? And people look at Thug like Thug is like the guy. It's like, well, the first time I heard Thug was actually with Rich Homie, not with Tip.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. So even groundbreaking in terms of kind of like I want to say, I mean, yeah, kind of introducing Thug to the masses too. So he's important down here, and it made me think that I didn't give him due justice when I was even coming up with my top Atlanta rappers list because he didn't even like cross my mind, and it's like he should have at least crossed my mind and got some honorable mention because he does deserve that. And we got to do a better job about celebrating people while you're here. I'm going to echo y'all's sentiments. I thought about the Jada Kiss bar, and we gonna make it. Dead rappers get better promotion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look, the money that my man Matt was mad about, they might have made back on streams that day while the song that him and his brother produced was sitting at #2 on iTunes. Now the money issue is resolved too, but you can't bring the body back, now can you?
Facts. Facts.
So that's what it is.
But before we move forward, Coop, can I ask y'all a question? Because this kind of piggybacks off what you all said, what you said, Coop, about groundbreaking and then being the father of a certain sound. I saw a YouTube video the other day, and I like to cite my sources. So, whoever the YouTuber is, I apologize because I forgot. But they had a dope topic that I'm kind of mad that we didn't cover or come up with first. But they was talking, so like I said, this is no bite, and I would, cite it if I remember. But they were talking about impact and influence versus actual success. And then the two people they used in that topic were Fonte and the influence he's had like over major successful artists like Drake. And then he also brought up Rock Marcy and the, pioneering the sound like for the Griselda movement and this and that. So the question is, a lot of these people, that gotta, walk so the next person can run, you know what I mean, and take the baton, they usually don't see the success that their predecessor, that the next one that comes along that usually see because they take it a step further. So why do you all think that is? Because, to Coop's point about Rich Homie Quan, a lot of these people usher in certain sounds, but they don't get the credit they deserve, if somebody takes the baton a little bit further. And I thought that video was dope. And Fonte and Rock Marcy are great examples of that. So, and where does that affect how we place these people in the game? Because we usually use success as a bigger metric than we do influence, and impact, how many kids you have in the game.
Sean, you want to tackle that one or you want me to go?
You go, Coop. I have like my thoughts all over the place. You go, please.
So I look at it like this, AG. Let's bring it back like Okay, so let's look at it like economically speaking. I know this sounds crazy. Like usually generational wealth gets built not when somebody acquires it, but when somebody decides that they actually want to do something with what they've acquired that they might not even get to see the fruits from the labor of. It's a risk.
Mhm.
It's a gamble. So it takes somebody who will not pivot on what it is that they do. And so those people are important because those are like the fundamental elements of like some of the things that have just been built over time is to have these people who won't pivot. And so you can look at a Rock Marcy and a Fonte, and their greatest strength is the fact that they really didn't pivot off of what it is that they did well because they knew that they did it well. And
Mhm.
because of that, keep the actual going with the same word, they created a well of offspring after
Mhm.
them because of it. So you could say that Rich Homie is in that category. You can say that it's like, well, when I listen to a Thug, Future was already kind of around a little bit, but when I
Mhm.
listen to a Thug, a Gunna, a Baby, a 21, I can say like in a lot of ways that it all started with Rich, but that's usually a concentrated effort by that person to change the dynamics of what's going on, much like with generational wealth. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
So
you're right.
And so I think the impact of that sometimes gets understated. Like, to be honest with you, that's part of why Tupac is so big to me and so high on my list. Cause it's like, oh, like forget all that like technical rhyme scene stuff. It's like, first of all, I feel like he does that poetically, but he has the impact and the sales and the songs and the
Yeah.
albums,
Yeah.
you know. And some people only have certain things, but also too, sometimes when you only have like maybe one of those core things, people can forget how important that core thing is. And I think Homie's core thing is his impact.
Mhm.
And because I don't think he had the other things to other people. I think that impact kind of gets lost or misremembered or
Yeah.
misinformed sometimes, you know.
You end
And
up being
sometimes the people
unsung.
and the people that you actually like, you know, help cultivate and like create a sound for this region actually ended up in a lot of ways creating bigger and better records than you. But that's kind of what you have to, you know, sacrifice when you're the person that kind of lays the foundation. You should
Mhm.
think that the road that you pave should make it easier for other people to walk, drive, run, whatever the fuck it is they want to do down that road. So, you know, mission accomplished in that regard too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Moses didn't get to see the promised land. So yeah, that's a good point, Coop.
Yeah.
He's bitter. God told him he was bitter. He said, "You're bitter and you're not going anywhere."
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have a different angle, cool, and I think that was really very, very good. I have a different angle because I look at it more of what you give credit to, right? Because in hip hop, it's almost clandestine to give credit to anything that helped you, that helped created you, or anything that you add to your skill tree or to your toolbox. And I think about the Nas verse on Last Writ Alive when he said, Big told me that Ray was stealing my sling, and I didn't shell in. Big told me Ray to do the same thing, but I borrowed from both them. Jigga started, you know what I mean? So Nas was saying, I borrowed from both of them. I adopted
He did.
Ray and Big style,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And Jay came to start rapping like us, but he was paying homage to everyone that helped created him. He talked about Coogee Rap, he talked about Rakim, so on
Hmm.
and so forth.
Hmm.
Rappers don't do that enough because there is a tree and there are branches to that tree. And some rappers are the root of the tree. And you have the founding fathers, the ones who started with the hip, the hop, and the boom bap and all of that. Those are the roots. And as you continue to that tree continue to get bigger and the branches continue to branch out, you get like someone like that Rich Homie Quan. You get to the Midwest, you get to the West Coast, you get to these the Memphis streets, you get different branches of hip
Hmm.
hop, but the roots are
Hmm.
still there. But we never go back and say, well, I got it from this. My style came from this. Something influenced me in this pattern, right?
Mhm.
Because we want to say, I fathered my own style. This is who I am. I got what I got because of me, not because I took a little bit of this or took a little bit of that. You are what you consume.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to know what? I don't want to cut you short, but that kind of parlays into the next thing that we're actually going to talk about. So if we could transition,
Absolutely.
Nicki's dropping a new album, fellas.
Yes.
Now, I've told you plenty of times to kind of piggyback off what you just said, Sean. It's like, well, part of why I don't hold Nicki as high as everybody else is because the impact isn't there. Because it's like, well, I know where she got a lot of her style from. She would never say that. And you want to know why she would never say that? Because it's rap. You don't say shit like that in rap. You better be super nice if you're going to say something like that in rap. And so, Sean, when you bring up Nas saying it, it's like, well, he's Nas. So it's a little bit different. He's just as nice, if not nicer, than the people that he is referencing.
Right.
You understand that? It's like, so when he's talking about Big and Ray and G-Rap and Rakim, well, he's just as good as them, if not better.
Right.
So he can reference that. Somebody like Nicki, it's not a wise idea to reference that. That's not the type of sphere that we exist in. So I never expect to hear that from her. But my question to you all is that she's announcing a new album. I know her fans are excited about it, and there's a lot of fans. Is hip hop excited about the album?
I think hip hop 50-50. Here's why. I think that she's gonna show out number wise. Nicki is still the highest female artist of all time.
She's gonna do numbers.
She's gonna do numbers. And the Megs and the Gorillas, all of them, they're gonna have to bow to that straight up. She could come and she can really mix things up because there has been an influx of female rappers that were getting off this year. Lotto, Ice Spice. Damn, I'm about to say Old Spice. Ice Spice, Glorilla, Sexy Red. They got to move out the way because she's that one. She's really that one. And the bars, I hope the bars are hearing this. I am an advocate of the bars. I want y'all to support me as I support you.
Hold on. First of all, Sean, where's Nicki from? Not to cut you off. Where's Nicki from?
Queens get the money.
Where are you from? Sean, where are you from? Sean, where are you from?
Queens get the money.
Okay, we can't trust anything you say. AG, we're going to cut Sean off. It's your turn. Go ahead, finish your comment.
Get the money.
Sean, finish your comment. Finish your comment to save yourself from the barbs, and we're going to AG.
I don't want no beef with the bars.
Notice when I started this topic, I didn't say who to cue it to, but Queens Get the Money over there decided he wanted to go ahead and go first. So finish your comment so we get to AG.
I don't want no beef with the bars. So
he did. Like I said, Nicki gonna come through everything in 2020. Even or not, every rollout. I mean, Nicki was just in the headlines for going crazy, at Jay-Z for the Super Bowl, decision and stuff, which we'll get to that later. But everything can be a rollout. So, this could play into her album. But, Sean mentioned all the other ladies in hip hop that got to get out the way. But Nicki's running a different race than they're running. A lot of those young ladies still playing the single game. You know what I mean? Drop a song here, let it work, and then drop another song there and let it work. Nicki comes from, she's cut from the cloth. Like, I'm gonna put out a project, I'm gonna do an album, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let my album speak, and none of these newer acts come from that. You know what I mean? So I think that's why she's gonna set herself apart. And I mess with Nicki. I just don't like it when she goes too far pop, but I understand it. But real quick, back to Coop's point, because he cooked that one thing about you got to be nicer than who you give credence to for fathering your style. So, for Nas to say it's not as big of a deal. And you know what it made me think about, Coop? You're a North Carolina guy. You remember who inducted Michael Jordan into the Hall of Fame?
No, I don't. I actually didn't watch that speech or that ceremony.
Okay, David Thompson.
Right.
And you would suspect,
appropriate.
Right, and you would suspect like him to say, Dr. J or whoever, but he was like, no, I'm North Carolina. Growing up, I watched him more. David Thompson was my guy, and that kind of rewinds back to the previous conversation I was having. Does David Thompson's name come up in some of these, great ball player conversations? Unfortunately, it doesn't. But if he sparked something in Michael Jordan to become Michael Jordan, then we got to kind of look at their placement a little bit different, and we got to go back and do the knowledge on what they brought to the game. So
I think all of those are fair points. I think Nicki is playing the type of game where, quite frankly, Nicki is looking at it like, I own an estate with land, and you chicks are still releasing singles so you can build yourself your first house. It's very, very cute to me. Excuse me while I go get on my yacht.
Right.
Excuse me while I go get on your yacht. You're getting your first house built. That's cool. I'll be on my yacht when you're done getting that little house built. When the boat pull up to the dock, you gotta walk 2.3 miles before you get to the house. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're gonna have a golf cart come pick your broke ass up, take you to the house. So she's playing a different ball game, gentlemen.
It's not even fair.
Playing a different ball game. And that's just really what I got for it at the end of the day. It's different when she drops. It's a numbers thing. I don't know. Like, y'all know, like, me and Taj got into an argument about this earlier this year. Were y'all on the thread? Like, when we got into the argument? Sean, were you there?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, the numbers. I was on the other side of the conversation, but I was like, at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers, and I can't really argue with the numbers, so I lost the argument. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're only as strong as what you have backing you, and like what she has backing her, barbs.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
shout out to the barbs.
That's only second to the Beehive, my nigga, and maybe not even that, because they will come for you.
Did the bars have us under the gun for the bar seminar this week?
They loved it, actually.
Actually, they did.
Nah, she killed that verse. She killed that verse. Word.
But you kind of felt like you were being strong-armed a little bit when you picked it, didn't you?
I was like, I hope.
Don't tell me that you didn't. You felt it. You felt it. You felt them.
I felt the pressure. I said, what they don't like this? I said, well, the barbs don't like this bar.
Yeah, Queens get the money. Queens take the money too, nigga.
Straight up.
So on to something, quite frankly, that I don't care about anymore. BET Hip Hop Awards nominations.
Oh my goodness. It was nasty.
Megan and Kendrick lead the nominations. I'm so surprised.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar. Okay, so there's like 30 awards handing out. Kendrick Lamar got nominated for 27 of the 30 awards.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's winning Best R&B album, but apparently he is. He's winning that too. He's doing all of this without an album. He's doing all of this without an album and just diss records.
He's gonna sweep. He's showing you everybody's.
Am I crazy? No. I just want to know from you all. This is my question. Is Coop crazy? Is Coop really a hater? Am I really being a hater? Have you seen the things that he's nominated for? I'm a hater. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yo, Coop, he got Hustle of the Year. He got nominated for Hustle of the Year.
He's lyricist. He's getting nominated for lyricist of the year.
I'll tell you this.
Diss records. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'll tell you this, Coop. You be spitting truth with what you be saying, but I feel like you're too heavy-handed with it, trying to course correct the BS. You know what I'm saying? Because it is like you say it is. The pendulum is swung real far in one direction, and you pretty heavy-handed with it. You know what I'm saying? To try to course correct the shit.
No. Rest in peace to Tito, but Joe Jackson is who was heavy-handed with it.
Oh,
that's who was heavy-handed with it. Okay?
I can't believe you went there, yo.
That's who's heavy-handed with it.
Like you haven't been on the pot with this guy for 33 episodes. What do you mean you can't believe it? What do you mean?
This is ridiculous. Hold on. I want lyricist of the year.
Lyricist of the year.
For what?
Cool. Hustler of the year too.
Hustle? Hustle what?
Hold on, where is it?
What's he hustling?
I don't even know what.
He's definitely hustling. You want to know what? When I think about it, he might be the hustler of the year because everybody is sold. Yeah. Everybody is sold. He might be hustler of the year. That might be the award he deserves. That might be the one.
How many bricks did Jay have to get back? How many was it? 92 bricks? Unless Kendrick got more than that, he ain't hustler of the year.
I'm not touching that.
I don't even know what that category means.
Sean, what do you think about Kendrick having all these nominations? Go ahead.
I think he earned them.
Okay, when did Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers come out?
Nah, if we being for real, he hustled hip hop media. Like let's keep it real. He hustled everybody in hip hop media and he's still doing it because his whole song is on the premise of like anti-industry, but he has the industry in his back pocket. That's a hustle.
It's a hustle.
He's
Look,
ridiculous.
BET is doing what BET have to do. You got to nominate Kendrick for every single category because it's the popular thing to do.
Is that what we
You
doing?
got to jump on that. Pause. You got to jump on the Kendrick bandwagon if you're BET. Listen, we don't even pay BET no mind when it comes to the awards. They're making up awards. A Hustler of the Year award is
Man, who's doing? You want to know what? Man, cut this conversation. Who the
Yeah.
fuck is doing the cipher this year?
Yeah, another Jadakiss quote. Not black enough for BET. Just let me be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick black enough. Remember that on CB4? I'm blackity black. I'm black, y'all. Black, y'all. Blackity black.
First of all, CB4 is underrated as a movie. It's a great timepiece.
Top 10.
Glorious.
Because I'm black, y'all.
Yo, I don't
But
like
no,
shit. We don't pay attention to BET.
Can't wait to change the topic.
we don't.
Yeah, we can change it because BET is trash. I'm sorry. BET
I stopped paying attention to them when they stopped airing Uncut, but that's another story.
Okay. First of all, you've been hanging out with Honey Pack Sean over there too much. That's why.
Yo,
You're not getting tip drill back, AG.
AG the Honey Badger.
No more tip drill. No more. What's the other one? What's the other one they used to play all the time? He used to play tip drill all the time. There was
And the Luda joint. The Luda joint.
Yo, my stepdad
the popping. You know the joint I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
My stepdad caught me one night watching that joint. He said, "What are you doing?" I couldn't turn it. I can't turn it up louder. It was like,
when Nelly swiped that credit card, bro, I was done.
Down. Put your hands down. We're live on YouTube. This is ridiculous. Next topic. No. We're done. Put your hands down. Put your hands down, please. Don't. Matter of fact, no. Never mind. Don't put your hands down. We can't trust you. Put your hands up, Sean. AG, you put your hands down. Sean, put your hands up.
I'm just saying.
Nigga.
AG said it first. AG brought it up
I'm
first.
sorry, man.
Wow. Because he's been hanging out with you. This is what happens from having dialogue with you. Let me explain something to you, Sean. You are a reflection of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And AG spends too much fucking time with you. So I blame you.
Yo, that's that Will Smith quote from Association on the Nas joint. Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes.
Blame you.
Yeah. Yo, when Nelly swiped that card, though, that was crazy.
No. We're getting out of here before we get flagged again. So I can't make no damn money anyway. Yeah. We get flagged more than the Baltimore Ravens when they play the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yo,
but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. LL Cool J's The Force debuted at #1 on the UK charts.
Yes.
It's #1 for current rap albums, #1 for current R&B and hip hop albums, #5 on the internet, #6 for alternate genres, #9 on Billboard's rap albums, #9 on indie store rap albums, #10 on vinyl rap albums. It's top 50 in all 200 genres. Big victory for hip hop. Big victory for L. How we feeling about the album? What does this all mean that L was able to, off the strength of L, do this? You know, what are we? Came out in 85. It's 2024.
I'm still in rotation, man. I love the album. I'm still playing it heavy.
How impressive is this? How impressive is this to you, Sean?
It got legs. The album has legs. And that's what we talk about all the time. When the albums come out, it feels good in the first week or two, but doesn't have the longevity. And I think this album has that. One thing I realized what L did, which is very smart, because, you know, L owns Rock the Bells on Sirius satellite radio. Shout out to Rock the Bells programming. They've been playing LL music for the past 2 weeks now.
Good.
In full rotation.
Good.
Guess what that is? Streaming. Everything he was playing is all his music on his channel. No one does
Everything's a stream now.
Everything is a stream. No one does it better. He's an icon. Queens get the money. Think about how smart that is. You own Rock the Bells, right? You have it on satellite radio. And you say, you know what? In honor of me, I'm going to play all of my records for 2 weeks to 3 weeks. And I'm going to put my new songs in there as well in the rotation because it's counting as streams.
Yes.
Queens get the money.
So hold on. First of all, you want to know what it sounds like to me, Sean? Man, that's some shit some niggas with Queens would do. All right, no. I met my first Queens dude when I was 15 years old, and my reflection of this is like, man, that's some shit a nigga from Queens would do. That's all I got, AG. I hope you have more poignant thoughts than me.
He's a genius.
I'm with it. Like that's a real marketing genius tactic. But I have more of a question instead of some thoughts. Like I'm really digging this album. I think it's dope. But as a new listener, we've had the privilege of listening to LL since we was kids. You know what I mean? Our whole lives. But for any new listeners who may have picked up this album that recognize him from TV or what have you, do you think that they dive back into his old catalog? And if they do, what do you think they find with that? Because I think LL has like changed his sound a lot throughout the years. You know what I mean? He's always, kind of find a way to evolve over time. His formula was the same, but he evolved with it. So, what do you think those new listeners were able to tap back into with this new album? Or if they did go back and listen?
You mind if I jump in right quick, Sean?
Please, absolutely.
The best thing about this album to me, actually, is how fascinating I find the album to be.
Yes.
For somebody that I've been listening to since I've been pretty much listening to rap, to make an album that I find to be interesting, to be thoughtful, to be innovative, to kind of push, I think push the boundaries might be a strong word because I feel like it's more interpretations of music from the past, kind of revamped and amped up again.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the album is fascinating to somebody like me that's been listening to him pretty much my whole life means I can't imagine what a new listener might be feeling. And so I think this album may have accomplished this goal because if you're not familiar with who he is as an MC and you're coming in and this is the project that you are getting, this is the type of project to me that makes you want to go back and hear the stuff from this guy in his quote unquote prime when he was the man.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of those albums because it's good enough quality wise that it makes you think about this guy's heyday if you're familiar with him, very much like King's Disease 1 did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Makes you look back and be like, oh no, oh, that guy's still there. Oh, I didn't know that. It's great. And so I think the fact that it's hitting numbers wise, some of the metrics that it's hitting, and the quality and the fascinating and interesting and innovative nature of the project, it is one of the 5 best rap albums this year, guys, because I find myself still listening to it too. It has legs on top of it. And when I mean fascinating, I never thought LL would essentially make a concept album because that's what this is.
It is.
Yeah. Very much.
It's essentially a concept album. Did you all ever think that LL Cool J was going to make a concept album? Because I didn't.
No, it's very conceptual.
And it's very well executed. Production,
Well executed.
rhyme, the guest appearances fall. Like, I feel like the tracks that he picked to have guest appearances on, I feel like it fit those artists because L is like, no, I can do whatever. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? So
Versatility.
like whatever works for you, my G. I'm L. That's some of that braggadocious shit that's coming out in the album too. That's still very unique to L. It's like, oh no, it don't matter what beat you pick. You pick a beat for him. I'm L. Whatever you want to play, Tip. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely cool.
And so I'm even more impressed with the album than I was when I first heard it, and I'm glad it's actually doing some numbers that relatively reflect the positive outlook of the album.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I listened to 30 Decembers, and I'm like, man, that's writing. That's and only certain people.
Great record. It's a great record.
And only certain rappers can pull that off, can make that kind of record. Not everyone can do that. There's a small population of MCs, rappers, artists that can do something like that he did on 30 Decembers. And you have to understand what he did on 30 Decembers. Being an artist of his legend, his legacy, going back to a place that he found to be foreign, that he helped build. It's different.
So I got a quick hot take for you all. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
When I go back and I listen to the album and I listen to the interviews and now I listen to Saturday Night Special, I feel like he's talking about Supreme Team.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like he's talking about
Absolutely.
the Supreme Team on Saturday Night Special. That's who the record is about.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of the
That
tone of
makes
the
sense.
album is L taking it back to Queens, like
Yeah.
the guy who made radio Queens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The guy that wasn't the man.
Yes.
He's talking from the perspective of watching his environment
Yeah.
as a
And
young man.
if you've seen the documentary on the Supreme Team, that makes perfect sense, Coop. I didn't think about it till you just said it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I've
Yeah.
seen the documentary, so it's like when
Yeah.
I'm listening to him on Saturday Night Special now, it's like, oh no, he's talking about Supreme and Pappy
Mhm.
Mason. Like he's talking about those guys on the record. You
Yeah.
know, from his recollection of being around them personally, not like
Yeah.
it's on some rap shit in terms of him writing it, but it's like on some real life shit in terms of like, no, like this is how that dude actually like thought. And I know because it's like, oh no, I was in the club with him. Me and him used to kick it. Oh, we both
Yeah.
from Queen. I came up when they was coming up, just
Mhm.
different,
Not
you know,
all.
avenues of getting to the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get some super chats real quick, fellas. We got a couple of them. CJ the Kid.
You want me to get that? Yeah,
Yeah.
CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Where does the Force rank in his discog as of right now?
That's a large discog, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's hard to. It's in my top tier of his discography, in my opinion. It's as of right now. It's in that.
I know this
in
is
that
going to
top
ruffle some people, but I like it better than Mama Said Knock You Out beginning to end. And so I
I
have
do
it
too.
pretty high.
I do too.
I would have it fourth or fifth.
Yep.
The only ones I for sure will put above it is Bigger and Deffer,
Yep.
Mama Said Knock You Out, and Mr. Smith. I think it's slapboxing with the GOAT album because I'm a big fan of the GOAT album. But I think
Radio.
yeah.
For what it means,
Forgot
for what
about
it
radio.
means to
Too
hip-hop.
important. It's too
Yeah.
important. It's too important.
It might be fifth. I would put it over GOAT, but you're right, radio too. So yeah. I'd say fifth. 007, appreciate you. Queens get the money, go Jets. Yeah, they on right now, but stay locked in the hip hop talks. He said, yo, things LL Andre looks foolish. Is he referring to Andre, saying he don't have anything to talk about at his age? Is that what he's referring to?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, CJ the Kid with another $5 super chat. Oh, that's the one. Oh no, hold on. Where does the Force rank amongst the Nas and Hit Boy albums? Oh man, we always do this. We did it with the Common Pete too.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I want the Force to be a force unto itself. Let's not compare it to the Nas and Hit Boy shit.
Let's let it breathe on its own right now.
Yeah, we do that too much a lot of times. I'm guilty, but
but
it's a dope album.
We all are, because the Nas Hit Boy run is a barometer for an elder statesman MC in terms of mic performance and album quality making. So it's a good barometer, but it's like it's not something that we should start harping on to the detriment of other artists who are making projects as good as the Force. The Force deserves to stand on its own. The Pete Rock and Common, no, we can do comparative analysis on that.
But what I will say about just LL's longevity in comparison to Nas's, LL I think is the prototypical picture of longevity because he's been in the game. He predates Nas by about 5-6 years. About 6 years, I'd say, before we hear Barbecue.
Album making up by almost a decade.
Right. But I'm talking about 91 when we first heard Live at the Barbecue. But so LL, if you look up longevity in the dictionary, I think it has to be LL. But what makes Nas run so potent and so impressive, he did it not one, not two, not like D Wade and LeBron when they was talking about the rings they were supposed to get. He did it 6 times over. So, but LL is still that guy because nobody expected him to have an album in 2024, almost 40 years in his career, and it be this high quality of an album. So I have to give him the longevity belt.
Understood. So can't wait to talk about this. So Lil Wayne actually dropped a video that explained how disappointed he was in not being chosen for the Super Bowl. Before we go into a dive about just everything that this whole situation has entailed, what were your thoughts on Wayne's video?
You want me to go first on?
Yeah, please.
My thing is this. My main takeaway was I like that he took a little bit of the onus on himself and said, that's on me for, expecting that to be given to me. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times we left to assume a lot of things in life and it don't pan out and we disappointed by that. But I don't know if y'all ever heard the saying, but when you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. So, I do respect the fact that he brought that to the light that I shouldn't even assume that I was going to be given this. As far as him using the word broken to describe, how this did, I think that was too strong of a word. I can't speak on somebody else's emotions, but I think that was a little bit much in regards to, you just get denied a spot. But maybe this meant a lot, to his career, because he did lobby for this position quite a bit before this even, came to be a thing. He was on multiple interviews saying like, yeah, I want that, which probably led him to assume. But at the end of the day, it was just bad, man, because we ain't used to seeing Wayne like that, man. So and some people think it was a little performative, but at the end of the day, I just didn't like seeing Wayne like that, man. But hopefully he bounced back, put out some fire music. Let this be a motivator,
Yeah,
It's performative because he's a performer. But I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of all these guys are performers and girls.
yeah.
That's what they do. Sean,
See,
what are your thoughts?
I could barely understand what Wayne was saying. I'm beyond. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to be diplomatic. I'm working on myself. I'm trying to do better. But he
No,
was
I'm
like,
working on myself.
I'm working, man. I'm trying
Work
my best.
harder.
'Cause he was like,
Thank you for work harder.
I'm trying, man. He was like, like, what are you talking about? And I'm all right. My bad. Holly Grove. Shout out to Holly Grove. Look, man.
Auto tune on that video is crazy.
It was crazy, though. And you
The
see
auto tune is nasty work. The auto tune is nasty work.
I'm sorry, but how you sound. But he was like, then he wearing some goofy stuff. But anyhow, man, check it. I think Wayne, I think Wayne had to do what he had to do because his camp started talking. Right, you had Nicki jumping out there for him. Drake was liking everything Nicki was saying, and you had everybody else, Mac Man, Juvie, Louisiana was stepping up for him. If that didn't happen, I don't think Wayne would have said anything, to be quite honest. And I took that, his comments, I took that as him acknowledging the fact that he's hurt, but also closing the door on any opportunity, if there was an opportunity to surprise the people for him to come out there. If that opportunity was there, I think now the opportunity is off the table because he went out and he spoke. If he really felt that way, he spoke on it. If he didn't feel that way, he still spoke on it. Regardless if we understood what he was saying or not, he still said something to the effect that he's broken. And some people started showing some stuff about what Wayne said in the past about him not, I'm not going to get into all of that. That also plays a part, whether we want to admit it or not, because Wayne, I don't want to get into that. I want to go down that rabbit hole. I'll kick it to you, Coop. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Can I ask you real quick before Coop goes a clarification question? So you saying that door is shut because he came out with this statement? Because if he did get on that stage as a special guest, it would be like a pity move. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think if he wouldn't have said anything and just tell his camp, yo man, I'll pipe down, just let this blow over. I think the opportunity may have presented itself for him to be a surprise guest. Now, would it have happened? Because you got the Drake situation over here, you got Kendrick over here. I don't think there's no true beef between Kendrick and Wayne at all. But I can see Kendrick saying, "Look, bro, let's get you on the stage. This is whatever me and Drake got going on. That's whatever. Check with him, make sure you're good with that." And I'm sure Wayne can talk to Drake and say, "Look, this is for the city. It's bigger than us. I'm doing it for the city. I'm just come out, do one joint, come out there, and I'm gonna leave. 2 minutes, I'm out." But I think that door is now shut because he's he's getting on the side of everyone that's guarding him.
Okay.
Everyone that's shitting on Jay and the system and all of these things, Wayne's cry or his plea or his brokenness says, I'm aligning with that. Because now I'm aligning with that, I'm agreeing with what they're saying about how jacked up this is and how you guys treated me. That's just my opinion. I don't want to go down rabbit hole for the other stuff, though. Respectfully. Patreon. We got the Patreon. We talk about the Patreon. Because I got more.
Are you done?
Yeah,
Are you finished or you done yet?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This some bullshit is what this is. And I'm going to tell you why it's some bullshit. By every metric, this should be Lil Wayne's performance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're just talking mano a mano on stage performer, Kendrick's the better on stage performer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But what you have with Wayne is that you have the ability to bridge the gap of generations of hip hop fans, because Wayne gives you Wayne himself, who I consider Wayne to be a top 10-ish caliber MC, as in not in my personal top 10, but right outside of it objectively. And if you wanted to put him in at 9 or 10, I could not disagree with that necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've got the hot boys. So you've got Manny, Baby, Juvenile, BG, Turk, Cash Money, the bounce sound that comes from New Orleans where this is being held. Imagine them doing, like, and this is what I mean about this belonging to him. Oh, he can do Back That Ass Up, Bling Bling, We On Fire, Number One Stunner. You know what I'm like? There's so much stuff that he could do to bring them out in New Orleans, probably with a live band, seeing how you know it's New Orleans, you know? And then on the back end, he's got Drake and Nicki.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne, Drake, and Nicki are 3 of the 10 highest sales / streaming artists in the history of rap, and they're on the same team. And then you actually go into Wayne's catalog himself and all of the guest appearances, and it is literally like, it would be somebody who was putting together a choreographing show. It would be their dream to do that, to figure out how to put all the pieces of Wayne's puzzle together, because the catalog is that great, that extensive. He's been that big of a hit maker. He's been that big of an artist. He's been that quality of an album and a mixtape maker. He's been a top-notch MC. He has been the best MC at this game for a stretch of time that very few people have. And this is his home, and you give it to a guy that hasn't made one good album in the last 7 years. He's just been dissing the other guy who does the most numbers. Don't tell me that this is okay. Don't tell me that this is okay, because let's go back to the previous person we were talking about. Why did LL start Rock the Bells radio? Why did he start Rock the Bells? Do y'all know why he started Rock the Bells? Have you ever heard the interview where he talked about why he started Rock the Bells?
To get his IP.
Yep.
To give people their flowers. Now, how with all of Wayne's contributions to the game, from Cash Money to Young Money to a solo career, how many verses and hooks has he gave niggas that gave them shine that they weren't going to get? How many times did he give people opportunities, like putting Tech 9 on the Carter 4 when people still didn't know who Tech 9 was after being in the game almost 15 years? So you're telling me, on top of being a top flight MC pretty much since he made the Carter 2, in my opinion, which is 05? So we're talking about 2 decades of rap excellence, in my opinion, too. And you're going to let all of that opportunity and all of that moment pass for Kendrick?
Yes.
Kendrick's great, y'all. He's not that great.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm a Wayne fan. I'm a
That
Wayne
was
fan.
a rhetorical question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was not meant to be answered.
The way he answered it was wild. It threw me all the way off. I ain't gonna lie. He said,
I'm keeping the buck. Cool. You can't play back that ass up at the Super Bowl.
This is a soliloquy.
But they can edit that and they could be back that thing up, you know.
No, not the
Yes,
Super
you
Bowl. Not
Radio edit, Sean. Come on now.
No, this is a Super Bowl.
All I'm saying is that I mean, you could just go through the Young Money catalog, and that's enough to do a show.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's enough.
I mean, he got the. I mean, it's only 13 minutes, right? I mean, there's people out there acting like Wayne couldn't put together a medley of hits for 13 minutes.
I felt like Usher did 52 songs, y'all.
He did a lot.
This nigga Usher did 52 songs. He did 52 songs. He did 3 songs from each album he's ever made.
He did a lot.
That's Usher. We're talking about Wayne.
Wayne is on Usher. See, this is what I'm saying. So when you're talking about Usher, I look at Usher and Wayne on the same level for their respective spheres.
I'm with you.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Like
you say absolutely not.
Where do you have Usher all time as an R&B male performer?
I got Usher top 3
all time.
R&B all time.
Yeah. Let me think about this some more. My emotions are in.
First of all,
is that also for the Patreon?
First of all, so hold on. So watch this. After Prince and Michael Jackson, you have Usher, and then you have Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye in 4th or 5th.
That's why I said let me sit with my thoughts. Let me sit with my thoughts. Yo, let me sit with my thoughts on that one.
All I'm saying. Okay, so to cut Sean off, because Sean's wild. Usher is a top 10-ish R&B male artist all time to me, very much like Wayne is a top 10-ish rapper / MC all time. He's in that. If you wanted to say he was top 10, it's like, oh, well, I'm not really going to argue about it, but he's on the back end of the 10, but he definitely belongs in the conversation. Neither one of them are top 5 at their respective professions all time.
I tell you what, since you and HG the Hot Boys, give me the set list. Give me the set list for
me and Coop did this last week. We ain't doing this again. But let me ask y'all this: what's the bigger, most impactful record, or do you think it's close between Confessions in the R&B sphere or Carter 3 in the rap sphere?
Man, Confessions.
I think the Carter 3. I would
say
the Carter
3. I'm gonna say Confessions, but I think it's close. I'm gonna say Confessions.
Carter 3 was a moment. Very few people have had the moment that Wayne had with
Definitely
the Carter
was
3.
A moment. Definitely was a moment.
I prefer the Carter 2, but Carter 3 is his moment.
Definitely a moment. But Usher Confessions?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Confessions. Only on Hip Hop Talks will you get an R&B album compared to a hip hop album.
Right. You gotta be diverse. You gotta diversify your bonds.
That's right.
You gotta be good.
We got a couple of bars.
So let's go to the. Hold on. You want to go to some super chats? Because I want to go to the person who's responsible for this fuckery next.
Yo, 007 with the $2 super chat. He said Wayne should have kept quiet, but Jigga for sure hating.
Yeah.
Jermaine L. Johnson, appreciate you with the $5 super chat. Wayne can bring NO to the Bay next year, just like Usher brought Atlanta to Vegas. Why are we acting like the 2025 Super Bowl the end all be all? I mean, it's just appropriate.
Because Lil Wayne came out in like 1996, 97. Kendrick came out in 2012. And Lil Wayne's actually had the better career of the two. And this is his home. He's been the better hit maker. He's been the bigger selling artist. He's been the bigger cultural icon. He's been the bigger contributor to the sphere of rap. He's actually been part of bigger movements. 2 of them, Cash Money and Young Money.
Yeah.
Like I said, every box that you're telling me that Kendrick would check to do this performance, Wayne checked it long before Kendrick did. And he's home.
Do y'all think that Wayne should have?
We know why this happened.
So it didn't look too much like sour grapes. Do you think that Wayne should have congratulated Kendrick in his video?
I ain't congratulating a nigga for shit that took what belonged to me.
I'm just asking, man. Nas is the only person who came out and said, yo, congratulations, Kendrick. Like, ain't nobody congratulate Kendrick except Esco. That was crazy.
Not a soul.
And I'm not a fan of that shit either. He just believes in supporting artists. Good for him.
Oh my goodness.
Yo.
I didn't like that shit either. I was like, that's what he doing? I was like, I guess pays to have a team.
That's what he doing.
Can I add a poll to the
Coop, like you better get back in the studio with Bree.
Get back. They haven't gotten in the studio,
This
nigga.
is
Talking about some
nasty.
get back. You're not being slick with that shit. I told you. Ain't no
This is
damn.
nasty. Like,
Ain't no
AG,
damn
this is
Nas
your
Supreme
fault.
album
You
happening
always
over here.
do this. You
I told
always
you.
do this,
Talking
man.
No,
about
I
get
don't.
back in
No,
the
I
studio.
don't.
You're not getting back in anything. They got to get in. Talking about some get back.
Oh,
Wild.
I
I've
can't
had
believe
enough of both of y'all. We're going to the next thing. Super Bowl.
This AG.
Super Bowl halftime. No, it's you two. You started this shit. Super Bowl halftime show producer Jesse Collins tells Variety that Jay-Z has the final say so on the headliner every year.
No more speculation.
Yo, look at
I
Jay
don't
Harris.
have I don't have any words because I've already shared my words. Word of the day: fuckery, gentlemen. Sean, since you know so damn much, why don't you go and tell me why Jay is hating on Wayne?
Yo, so I said this last week as one of the quantifiable facts, and I was telling you guys that Jay was always the one because we give him credit. Here's the thing, man. We give Jay credit when he pulls off the Ushers and the Rihannas and the Dre's and the M's. But we conveniently said, oh, he had nothing to do with this one when people start pushing back, on the fact
Yeah.
that, Wayne should have been selected. And I'm glad that Jesse Collins came out and said that Jay always had the last word on that. He always had the last say. And you notice when it got confirmed, the Jay, the whole vengeance, I think that's what they call them, or the Jay fans or whatever, they got quiet. Like, so you don't care. You don't care. It's always politics as usual with Jay. They don't care. And that's the crazy thing, right? And I mean, I don't care, but we call it what it is. We call it, we said that at the end of the day, Jay's a businessman. He's been telling us this for years. We gotta believe him. We gotta believe when he tells us this. Jay don't care about hip hop like that. He didn't do anything for Hip Hop 50. You should not be surprised. He doesn't care. He tell you bullshit rap if you want. He's telling you these things. Believe this man. Look, man, if the devil got to show you his orange to let you know he's the devil, then you already behind the power curve. All right. He is who he is. I'm not calling him a devil, but he is who he is. Look at Coop. I'm kicking back to Coop. I'm not doing this.
Yo, this announcement gave me hope because we talked about Woj at ESPN. Yeah, it gave me hope because I hope somebody in the Lakers organization finally missed the same thing for LeBron. Like, yes, LeBron gets the last word on all the moves we make in the organization. He is very much the GM. Well, nobody has a verb. That's what I'm saying. It's giving me hope. They verbally confirmed this about Jay, so we don't have to speculate no more. Hopefully, the Lakers confirm what we've known all along, that LeBron makes all the decisions and moves for the Lakers. That's all I got.
Ain't nobody speculating. We all knew what time this was. We already knew this already.
Yeah.
He's of all the great rappers, he's also the pettiest. He might be the most competitive, but he's also, because he's the most competitive, he's the pettiest.
Very much so.
And what he's really trying to do, he's trying to navigate history. And he's done this before. And what he's trying to do by doing this is place Kendrick ahead of Wayne all time. And that's my problem with it. Because Wayne's a bigger threat to his legacy than Kendrick is. Because Wayne has the type of iconic cultural following that he has for his generation.
Yep.
And Stay Steady Freddie Petty can't have that.
Yeah. And
so this is petty. This is petty. You are too wealthy. You're not rich. You are too wealthy to be this petty at this point.
That's what Cameron makes it.
Let it go. Yeah. Is that what they said there? Right. You were too wealthy to be this petty at this stage. This is ridiculous. The petty level behind this is astounding.
Let me ask you this though, because there's another layer to it that came out. So with, I believe what you said, Coop, but it's another layer to it where it was confirmed that Drake turned down 2 Super Bowls, the Miami joint and another joint. I forget which one. So if Jay-Z asked Drake to do this Super Bowl twice, humbled himself to do that, ask him twice personally, does he spurn Lil Wayne in response to Drake turning it down? Do you think that has any connection?
Listen to what I'm saying. He offered it to Drake. He offers it to Kendrick because what they do on the mic ain't what Wayne does on the mic. And what Wayne does on the mic is way closer to him than he likes.
You said that last week. Yep.
I don't give a damn how many times he offered. I know why you offered.
But yeah. But all the credit, none of the blame.
He tried to take me out.
Right, man.
Yeah.
Did some bullshit. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear y'all. Did some bullshit too. Next topic while I work out my technical difficulties. Kevin Liles is stepping down as 300 CEO. Wonder why he did that, fellas. Any ideas why he did that?
Hey, man.
I'm not.
God, he's smiling, man.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Respect to Kevin, but every time I see Kevin, I think about Dame.
I'll be back shortly.
Yeah. Every time I see Kevin, I think about Dame screaming on him about giving the on the Hard Knock Life tour, giving everybody Def Jam jackets. Remember Bleak was like, "Yo, the Rockefeller ain't never gave me a jacket."
He did, man. Yo, man.
Speaking of which, I ain't got no Hip Hop Talks jacket either. I'm just saying.
I don't know what you mean to say. What you mean to do, man? We're working on that, man. We're gonna have it by the time we get to the show. We're working on that, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, shout out to Kevin Liles, man. You know, he's a major player in the game, man. He helped shape a lot of the music industry. You know, was a major player and somebody who, you know, contributed to the house that Def Jam built, you know, and then went on in 2014 to, you know, do another conglomerate. And, you know, he's stepping down from that now. So much respect to him, man. But I just still think about Dame screaming on him about the leather jacket, man. That's all.
Man. Kevin see the writing on the wall, I think. There's a lot going on because not just Kevin Liles stepping down. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Atlantic Records ended up letting go 100+ employees, and more is coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on right now. So it's a huge shakeup right now.
The writing on the wall?
Yes.
Is the writing in baby oil or lube?
Oh, we'll get there too. Pause.
Okay. That was crazy. I don't even know how that was writing. Wow. We might have to go there, Coop. We might have to, because
we here now.
We got enough. Nigga had enough lube to grease a tribe of rhinoceroses in the Sahara Desert. All right, could have oiled all them dry ass rhinoceroses up. A whole tribe. Rhinoceros is a very large animal. You've ever seen one up close? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yo, I'm just wondering if Diddy in jail, because his bail got denied. I'm just wondering if in jail, like, he got 2 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and clanking them together like bad boys.
Come on, man.
Come out and play.
You know what the younger generation is saying? They're running around. One of them told me today, they were like, "Yo, Coop, take that has a whole nother meaning now."
Yeah, it's nasty work.
Like, was that why he was doing it, Uncle Coop? It's like, I don't know. Don't have the answers for you. Don't have the answers for you.
I just walk away from those.
Yo, somebody on Twitter yesterday called him and R. Kelly the Splash Brothers. I lost my mind.
Yo, guess he get a kid, AG.
Yo, I can't hold on, man. Can't read.
$50 million. They said, nigga, no. Like, we don't care if you have $50 million. We're going to be taking way more money than that while we dilapidate your resources during the course of this trial. We about to find out if money talking bullshit walk, ladies and gentlemen. We about to find out.
He got that baby oil dilapidated. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. He said, "Wait, we get Hip Hop Talks jackets." To be continued.
Let me tell you something.
Yo,
I don't know what the fuck they've been doing, but if the skids ain't already greased for the kid, I don't want to ride on the slopes. unless you riding down the wrong slope. No, unless you riding down the wrong slope. Fuck you doing with some lube. What slope is you riding down?
We're in the end game right now.
Now you going to seventh heaven? Or you going to the chocolate factory? What the fuck is you doing? What the fuck is you doing?
Nasty. Where you think he had the big economy Costco side joint that had the pump? Like,
come on, man.
you know what I'm saying?
And the
Federal
answer
government
question,
tells you we
yes,
don't care
yes,
about when the federal government. This is the first time. This is the first time the federal government has turned down $50 million in the history of the federal government.
right.
They don't say no to $50 million.
Right.
Yeah.
That they want it all.
In my mind, though, because
they want your ass, probably because what they seen your ass doing to other people's
So
ass
the
with your lube having ass.
Yo, this whole segment is paused right now.
yo, no, on the real though, like in an alternate universe in my mind, Diddy wasn't the CEO of Bad Boy. He was the CEO of Slip and Slide Records.
Yo, man, y'all got to chill out, man. Like, look, you're
No. He should have been chilling the fuck out. Because I'm tired of having this conversation about black men with wealth, power, and influence thinking that they just gonna get away with this shit. You are black. And this is America. They are waiting for the opportunity to get your ass. You know, picture Uncle saying, "We want you." They talking about niggas with money.
Yeah. I'm surprised he ain't try to go to Valley with Russ.
We want you. We want you. Oh, a lot of people going down.
Yo.
Yeah.
What's the name of the DMX album? It's Dark and Hell is Hot. That's what the industry about to be. A lot of niggas is going down.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see Kevin Liles next to Russell Simmons in about 3 days, y'all. His ass is going to be in Tibet or wherever the fuck Russ is doing some awkward-ass yoga pose. We free.
Yeah, he's in Valley where they don't got extradition back to the U.S., so, yeah. So that's why I don't think Puff ran, because I think he planning on telling on people to like,
yeah,
you know.
Oh, he's snitching.
He's getting up, man.
Oh, he's snitching.
Yeah.
He talking.
Yo, 007 with the $2.
They already got it on tape. They already got all these niggas getting fucked on tape.
And he got RICO charges. He got like guns with the serial number scratch off, drugs, all that. You know what I'm saying? Trafficking. It's crazy.
Wow.
007 with the $2 super chat, dude. Nas and Jay get analyzed for standing next to Diddy. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, what New York artist during that came through that era didn't stand next to Diddy is my question.
And the era after.
Right. Yeah. I mean, unless you was Wu-Tang. Like,
Wu-Tang's different.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang's different.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang is
See
for the
the kid with
the way Puff is for the children.
Right. CJ the kid with the $5 super chat. It said, "Oh God!" The Discord said Meek is sad because Diddy can't rip his spine up anymore.
Man, this is disgusting. Like, y'all getting out of control, man.
Yo, our Discord is crazy, man. For real. Like,
why is Meek Mill like the target of all like the gay rapper jokes? It's like, you know how many gay ass rappers are you know? Yeah. I've been tough. Listen to me. Mark Curry told me in 2007, he said, "Coop," and I've said this on air multiple times before any of these charges got filed. There's the party that niggas like you and me go to. And then there's the party that Puff and go to. We ain't going to those parties. You feel me, Coop? It's like, I feel you. Because I ain't trying to feel what the fuck they doing at them parties.
Oh, pause, man. Yo.
All right, so we got another $5 super chat.
Now, what needs to stop happening is niggas need to stop acting like they ain't know this shit been going on.
Yeah, we got
2007 shit was going on.
We got another $5 super chat from CJ the Kid. Appreciate you, man. He said, "I heard Act said that he thinks Drake is next after Diddy. Thoughts?"
Nah, Diddy's the only target right now for a lot of different reasons. Yeah. He's the target. You know, when Diddy put that and 50 even talked about this when he's suing the company, the Ciroc owners, and that's when a lot of this stuff started to unfold. 50 mentioned that months ago. You know how 50 feel about Diddy, and then 50 mentioned it again, and he was saying how, damn, you good, Coop? Oh, I'm about to say, did the Bad Boy franchise put the blackout on Coop? Damn. Did he just snatch Coop up? Yo, hope Coop is all right. Let's get this on super chat real quick.
No, man. What LP, what Epic say in our chat? He said, "Diddy go slam the soap down like some dominoes."
Come on, man. I gotta let it. Y'all gotta stop, man. Yo, get the super chat, man.
Yo, man. Andre Miller with the $2 super chat. Flying out an IG model fits under these charges.
That's crazy.
How old is the model?
That's crazy.
Okay.
It's my takeaway, fellas, honestly, man, all the victims involved, or those who are willing victims, if you want to frame it, I just hope they find peace, right? Because if any of these charges, if these allegations are remotely true, it's a sick guy. He deserves to be where he's at. I'll leave it at that. But we also now starting to see some of our legacy movements coming to an end, if not already ended. You know, Bad Boy legacy, that book is closed now.
Why would you tape this shit? Why would you tape this?
It's power, man. Power, greed. You know, all of those things cool. What do you call it? Pro quo quib or something like that?
Shit, where I come from,
power.
where I come from, we just call it stupid.
Yeah, but you
to commit a crime, and to you know, commit it to tape. They call stupid where I'm from.
When they got money and resources, they feel like they're untouchable.
Right.
Huh.
Tell Magic with the $5 super chat.
Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate the $5 super chat from Mill Magic. He said those prisoners is about to put Russ through yoga sessions when he gets locked up.
Oh, man, yo, getting out of control.
Wow. Yo, if he did go to Bali, like Russ would be like, yo, don't come over here. You're making it hot for me, because Russ ain't got those charges that Diddy got.
Hey, but real talk, fellas. I mean, why didn't he run? He actually had the money and the wealth and the power and the influence to run. Like, he could have got out of here. Like, Diddy could have got out of here.
I think he's already told his lawyers that he's prepared to take some people down with him.
Absolutely. You don't.
You're going to negotiate with the authorities at that point.
Absolutely. If you're running, it makes you look more of the guilt, right?
Right.
So him staying put, again, think about who we're talking about.
So hold on.
We've been doing this for years.
So
allegedly.
So it's not all the lube, drug, guns, and videotape that's making him look guilty. It's the running part. It's gonna make him look guilty. Do I got that right? I hate to be the one to break it to you.
In a court of law,
precede the running, which is why you should run.
But Sean spoke to it a minute ago. Once you have that much money and power, you think you're invincible. He still thinks he has a shot to beat this.
Because technically, who just said you can't have 1,000 bottles of baby oil? It's not illegal. It's not illegal. They have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It's not illegal. I'm sorry. It's not. It's sick, but it's not illegal. All right. You got to prove it. If they're asking him on the stand, why you got 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
He is making Rick James look like a Buddhist monk right now. And
yo, come on, Rick James is dead, man. What are you doing? Respect the dead, cool. Come on. Rick James was wild. Rick James was tying people up to the bed and everything. But allegedly,
what do you think is on these tapes, my nigga?
That's what I'm saying. 1,000 bottles of the judge said, why do you have 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
And you've seen what happened to R. Kelly, and you still kept these tapes. This nigga seen what happened to R. Kelly and still kept these tapes. This is wild.
It is. But again, when you get complacent because you think that you have money, power, resources, you got away with so many different things for so many years, you done put out hush money, you done pay people off, you done did this, and not only that, you don't know what he has also in his possession. You're talking about heavyweights that may have been to these parties. Man, I ain't gonna say that. But remember man, we gotta get the Patreon. I swear we gotta get a Patreon. But yeah, there's a lot of people.
He got some heavyweights in his Rolodex. His Rolodex full of heavyweights.
The heavy as the heavies. Mm-hmm. The heavy of the heavies. Like the big dogs.
You want to know what you could have did? Same thing you was telling those girls and guys. Go ahead and take one for the team tonight. Could have took one for the team and left. Took one for the team and left. This is a potential, all jokes aside, this is a potential like monopolizing moment for other music industry big shots, and also could be the downfall of some of our modern day rap and R&B climate as we know it because of this. Because the fallout from this could be epic. Epic. Like to the proportions of nothing like that we've seen like in our lifetimes, not even close.
Absolutely.
Because some names some names got told to me in 2007, and just two of the names that I got told, oh, that's enough to go ahead and take down this house.
Mm.
Like, I know two names that might this. You know, I've heard two names that it's like, oh no, just those two guys alone with him is enough to take down the black part of this industry.
Mm-hmm. And cool, think about that. What if they're on those videos?
Oh, I'm pretty certain one of them is. I would bet my house that one of them is.
Getting swallowed up. Pause.
Whoa, yo, let's switch topics, yo.
That's what they said.
You talk about us. Nobody said anything about swallowing.
We got to switch topics. Like we got to switch topics.
What does this mean? But Sean, the one good point that you made, and I do mean one, was that what does this mean for the rap climate for our era? Think about this. Rockefeller.
It's bad.
Dame and Jay have been at odds or just non-speaking time. I don't know what the fuck that strange relationship is. That's been that way for years. The feds took Murder Inc. down. You know, Rough Riders between just some personal issues with one of the CEOs, DMX's decline, the Locks going into other ventures, no longer. So there's no Rockefeller, there's no Bad Boy, there's no Rough Riders, there's no Murder Inc., there's no Death Row, even though Snoop restarted Death Row, like Death Row to me is, you know, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, and the Dog Pound.
Yeah, sure, locked up too. So
Nate Dogg's gone. You know, like what? Our era is over, gentlemen. What do you say to the fact that like the era and all the camps that essentially made our era what it was in our post-formative years?
Yeah,
I mean, this is the last dynasty to fall, isn't it?
Yo, how's the saying go? We had a hell of a run. Like that.
Look, we had a run. We had an amazing run. We had an amazing run, but it's over. I think it's beautiful because it lasts. And that's
nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, Dame Teeth coming out on live, and you know he's trying to sell his last portion of Rockefeller. It's
Jay-Z doing hater shit to Wayne.
It's crazy. It's nasty. You don't even hear about Rough Riders anymore. Swizz buying camels and doing camel races in Egypt. You don't even hear.
I ain't touching that.
Me neither. I had something, but I'm not.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You see that transition? Jade, camel.
I did.
I'm not touching it.
So far ahead of myself.
Done enough.
All right, let's super chat. Let's finish up.
Yo, Andre Miller with the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. It says sex, drugs, and rock and roll, not sex, drugs, and hip hop. Every rock group did these things. This is a selective prosecution. I mean, it might be selective, but that doesn't justify what he was doing. You know,
funny, but duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
They weren't as flamboyant neither. Well,
like, man, they didn't do this. They didn't do this to any of the white people that used to do it.
You can't be flamboyant neither, though. Loudest one in the room.
We just now understanding that part of the equation is part of the equation.
Right.
That's what I mean about you have to be above and beyond reproach. Somebody tell Kanye to run. Somebody tell Kanye to run now. All right.
Please.
He's next. Lord. There's a list. There's the we gonna get these niggas list. And now that Puff is in bondage, Kanye's next person list is like, we finally got Puff. It's like, ooh, Yeezy.
He's in bondage.
Like, tell Kanye to run. Tell Kanye to run.
Yeah, that's right.
I said bondage.
Using bondage is crazy.
He's probably, I mean, he is very wealthy. He's probably still getting what he likes in jail. Bondage is the right word. Kanye, run, yay.
We in trouble.
Run. See, the kid with the $2 super chat. He said, G Unit, your era. We all about the same age. G Unit was like, you know, my tail end of college era. Yeah, early 20s. Yeah.
They weren't as big as those other crews to us because we had kind of like grown up a little bit. They didn't impact us as much, but they were pretty.
What do y'all consider your formative years? I say for me, it's like 14 to 22, like that frame.
I consider formative like 14 to 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's about 15 to 21 for me. 15 to 21.
Yeah.
Right. We're in the same ballpark. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. He said Dame said Drake might buy his share and should use it against Jay for snubbing Wayne and also slighting Drake himself in the process. Thoughts?
Dame be talking crazy, man. Dame be talking out of his head, and his teeth fall out of his head. So
I knew that.
Dame is like that uncle that'll come ask you for $5, but have $5 million buried in his backyard, but like telling you he ain't got no money. But then he'll get drunk and tell you about the $5 million buried in his backyard. It's like, nigga, you just borrowed $5 from me.
Yeah, that's what Marshawn Lynch said he does. That's how he say he keep money. He bought every time he run into somebody know he asks him, can he borrow some money?
Yeah,
Marshawn a wild dude, man.
He's a wild dude, though.
He is. He's different.
Yeah.
So what we got next, Coop?
We actually got a couple of new segments. Hip Hop Talks Press Playlist. We're going to start sharing the things that are in our playlist that we've been playing the most weekly. A little quick 5 to 7 song rundown. So I figured we could all give our top 5 songs that we've played the most in this past week and maybe give a little insight as to why.
Yes, sir.
I can kick off if you want me to, or Sean. Oh, Sean,
Yeah.
sound like you're ready to go. Go ahead.
You set the tone. You set the tone with this one, man.
Go ahead.
So most of these songs are R&B songs because I really don't listen to rap like that anymore. And the rap song that's actually on my list is going to surprise you. You want to hear the rap song that I've been listening to?
Yeah.
What you got?
I've been listening to Not Like Us all this week.
Wow.
I think you mentioned that on the last show. Yeah.
I have. I've been listening to it a lot the last couple of weeks. It is a brilliant mic performance. I cannot lie. It's wildly entertaining. Everything that Kendrick does well as an MC is evidence on the record. So I can see why the core fan base is taking it and run with it, because everything that makes him who he is, it is on that record. And if you actually will separate who he's talking about and just look at it from the creative stance of who Kendrick is as an artist, it is a great record. And it might be rap song of the year.
Wow.
That's progress, Coop.
No.
Yeah, one step at a time.
I'm growing. He still ain't made no good album in 7 years, but the song might be song of the year. And so I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I don't know why I've been listening to Is It a Crime by Sade a lot. There's something about that song. It's probably the song I played the most this year. Is It a Crime by Sade.
Classic.
Yeah. Is It a Crime by Sade. This is not going to surprise anybody at all. I've been playing When Doves Cry by Prince all week.
Amazing song.
Yes. Knocks Me Off My Feet by Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at? Is that 4?
That's 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, they got another rap song, because I actually think I've been listening to this rap song more. I've been listening to the R&B song. I was about to name. I've been listening to Queen Bitch by Lil' Kim.
Love the joint.
I love the way that beat drops. There's something about that beat drop that's addictive to me, and I love the way she comes in and how she skates on that record. And I don't think Kim actually gets enough credit for being an appropriate comp to Big on the mic as a female counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
She did learn from the guy with the sickest flow ever. Her flow is really, really sick, y'all.
Facts.
She did learn from the best.
Facts.
So that's my 5 for the week.
Okay.
I thought you would have one more because you named the extra hip hop one. Didn't you have 4 R&B?
I did have 4 R&B songs. Well, actually, it's not really an R&B song.
Mm-hmm.
But I do consider this record to be kind of like a great record, and I think that hip hop artists have sampled it, and that's The Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
The Chain by Fleetwood Mac is actually just one of my favorite songs ever. If you're not familiar with The Chain by Fleetwood Mac, I would encourage you as a it's one of those songs that it makes you respect music no matter what your genre preference is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all spoke about Fleetwood Mac on Mirror Music before, haven't you?
Yeah, Rumors is one of the 10 best albums I've ever heard in my life, objectively speaking. So yeah, and Chain is probably my favorite song from Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. So and we reference the album because of the songs, and the album it's like that. How about this? How black people feel about Stevie and Marvin and Prince's best work is how like white people feel about Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, and they have every right to feel that way. The same way we have the right to feel the way we feel about Thriller and Purple Rain and Songs in the Key of Life. It's that level of album. It is. Yeah. That's what I got.
Cool. How about you, AG?
For me, I had 7 joints. because we decided on 5 to 7. But it's the usual suspects. But it's the matter of how I got here. I'm gonna use this opportunity to plug the Discord again. On Nas's birthday, shout out to Trife, man. The homie Trife did a tier list of Nas's albums, right? And reposted it on Twitter. We got a lot of hits on it, and people ranked the Nas albums, which prompted a conversation in the Discord. The homie Iron Meyer, shout out to you. He chimed in and said, like, are we really counting The Firm and QB's Finest as in Nas' discography? And for me, I do, as a completionist, because, you know, I think all collab albums should be included in a soloist discography. And if we think about it, Nas acknowledged them himself. He said, you know, Illmatic, I was what'd he say? Illmatic, I was boss. It was written, I floss, one of the most creative LPs ever to hit stores. In The Firm, I learned I am Nostradamus, QB's Finest, Uchi Wally faced more problems. So he acknowledged those albums himself. So I was just diving back into some of those albums, and Trife made a joke, said, don't make me include the Bravehearted album in that list too, by the Bravehearts. But then I alluded to telling Trife, like, yo, me and Sean talk about all the time, like, you say what you want about that album, but Nas blazed his features on there. The song Bravehearted, you know, where he says, my name is Beloved, like, you know, when he's going off, like, that's one of my favorite Nas features ever on that song. So I've been listening to that song. That's my first joint off Braveheart's album, the title track, Bravehearted. I've been listening to QB's Finest a lot, and I find myself going back to Self-Conscious, where him and Prodigy they take two different avenues for the same concept, and it's just a brilliant record that doesn't get talked about enough. Love that song. Going back to Find Your Wealth, the gem that was left off the original I Am. Love that record. And then from number 4 is Street Glory off QB's Finest. That's one of my favorites off that record with Nas and Blitz. I don't think that record gets talked about enough. And for my last 3, that same tier list, you know, of course, when you mention Nas, Jay-Z has to come into the conversation. So people started doing their Jay-Z album tier list. And I did mine, and I had Dynasty ranked up there pretty high. Like, for me personally, it's my 7th favorite Jay album. Look at Coop. I love the Dynasty because I think it's elements in it. You can see it as a precursor to the blueprint. It lays the foundation to what eventually will become the blueprint. So I've been going back to This Can't Be Life with Face. Soon You'll Understand. That's one of my favorite joints. And then the joint that's hard to listen to sometimes is the Where Have You Been joint, where they talk about, you know, the absentee fathers or whatever. Because I think those records have the bones of what eventually comes the blueprint and the blueprint sound and, you know, kind of subject matter. So that's my 7.
AG's top 5 rappers. Dylon, except for you put Nas in. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I told you it was the usual suspects. I'm just telling you how I got there, man. You know?
No,
yeah.
Usual
and
suspects.
And 2 compilation albums, the QB's Finest and the Dynasty. Nobody talks about those albums. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been tapping back into.
Self-Conscious is one of my favorite rap songs, period. That's the record that makes me wish they would have made an album together, actually.
Who you think got that one? I go back and forth.
I love what Prodigy did on there. I feel like it's the only time he actually got Nas on a record.
You think so? On Self-Conscious?
Nah, Family. I think he got him on Family. I think he got him on definitely on Give It Up Fast.
I don't think so. I love Nas's verse on Give It Up Fast.
Oh my God. Prodigy went off.
And Self-Conscious for me, oftentimes when I listen to both the verses, I love them both so much I call it a wash. But I do.
It's a wash.
How about this? I feel like that's Prodigy's record, and Nas just came in and sewed it up.
He did.
So there's something about it that still feels more like P's record to me. And so, like, I like P on there.
I'm with it. But go back and listen to Give It Up Fast. At the juncture where P says, hop out the Lexus on some next shit, like, from that point on, he left Earth. Like, that's nah. Nas didn't get that one. I'm sorry. He got him on live rap. Nas got that for sure. But on Give It Up Fast, P went somewhere else with that.
Blasphemy.
I don't care, man. P was that guy. Rest in peace to P, man.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't.
He got
agree.
Ray on Nighttime Vultures. I don't think he got Nas on Give It Up Fast. He got Method Man on Extortion too.
He did, but that P verse is a top 5 P verse to me. I love that verse.
See, I don't think that's a top 5 P verse even on that album. So that's where we would defer.
Man, revisit it, man. That joint is crazy.
No, I'll go back. I play Give It Up Fast all the time, though. That's one of my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. A Night Train
like,
in your womb, piece, rated X to say the least. Yo, he was
I like Noise verse on Give It Up Fast too.
I think he had the second best. I actually got Nas third on there.
No, when he said the bitches, like G Money said to his man, ride the dick, like with the cowboy
brand. Yeah. But still third. I call spade a spade.
Goodness. Can you
Sean, what you got?
Let's get the super chat real quick.
Oh yeah, CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. The QB album is to Nas what the Dynasty is to Jay. Why not count it? That's my thoughts exactly.
Okay.
He said 007 with the $5 super chat. He said, look at AG digging in the crates for Nas. He said, let me know how you feel about the season, Second Coming, Seeds of Heaven. Let's start there. All those fire.
All fire.
Like the season.
The season, great.
I love the season. Yeah.
Over Dylan.
He's got a lot of special stuff, though.
He got a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
My list was a little all over the place, to be honest. I was back and forth in the gym this week. Bunch of calls, conferences this. But I didn't have to travel this week, so did a lot of gym time. I kept playing "Can't See Me" by Pop for some reason. I don't know why.
It's a hard record.
That record go crazy, man. I played that record. I play that joint every time I play basketball this week, Monday and Tuesdays, over and over, just playing "Can't See Me." I also started playing "How High" Part 2, the one with the Tony Braxton hook on it. Played that joint. Love that joint. I was playing that back and forth this week as well. Then I started digging into the mixtape of our era, 2004, 03, 05. And I started playing the Locks, D Block versus G Unit when I was in the gym. And I specifically played Sorry Miss Jackson, which is to me one of the most disrespectful diss records ever made. Kiss rapping to 50's dead mother that's crazy. That is yo. If you guys haven't heard that joint in a long time, go back and listen to Sorry Miss Jackson by Kiss and Styles P. Very disrespectful. Very. I mean, you rapping to this man's like dead mother, crazy. But I was listening to that. Then it transitioned into the Styles P Killed That. That came off the Ghost in the Shell mixtape. So I was playing that as well. Because that beat was crazy. I actually went into the Nas crate again. I played the Nas Don't Body Yourself. I don't know why I was on some
MC Burial.
Yes, MC Burial. I was playing that, played that a few times this week. I played Capadonna, Old Donna. Play O'Donna.
Record.
Love O'Donna. And I also played Gun Showers from the Wu Massacre this past week as well. And my last one I played was an R&B joint, was In Vogue, Don't Let Go.
Great record.
That song is one of the only songs. I remember I scored like my career high in high school when that song came out. I played that song all morning.
What was the high? 7 points. 7 points. 8 points.
Cool. I actually had 32. I had 32 and 12 rebounds that
What,
game.
over the course of the whole weekend of the tournament?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Next show for quantifiable facts, I'm bringing footage.
You're gonna have to.
I have to. I brought the picture. I'm going to bring the footage. I'm going to bring the magazine cover too. The magazine cover saying, what is he going to choose? They got me at the basketball like this. Like, what is he going to choose?
You had the Iceman pose, like George Kermit.
What is he going to choose? And I'm doing this. But anyhow, yeah. But that was my pro love. I really wanted to focus a lot on some aggressive music in the gym this week for whatever crazy reason. And the last one I did was Alan Silvestri. I'm a huge Alan Silvestri fan. Alan Silvestri is one of the best composers ever. To me, he's number one. But I would listen to a lot of Alan Silvestri this week as well, just on my downtime.
Okay.
But yeah, but that's our new segment. What's in your playlist? We actually going to put it on Twitter, and we encourage everyone to do theirs as well.
So since y'all both did 7 songs, I'm going to give you my 7th song, and it's actually a G Unit record. I've been listening to Stunt 101 this week because I love that hook by 50.
Can't stand that song, man.
I love Stunt 101.
I didn't like it when it came out, but man, by the time the album dropped, it was hard, man.
Stunt 101 is hard. Popping Them Things is the gem, but Stunt 101 is hard. 50's the best hook writer of all time. It's hard not to get wrapped in.
The beat on Popping Them Things is crazy. I don't think that album is talked about enough. That Beg for Mercy album was dope. Like
the first song on Beg for Mercy, like set the tone.
It's really good.
Yeah. It dropped the same day as the Black album, and I was like going back and forth between, but I mean Black album is what it is, but it's not like I wasn't giving Beg for Mercy any burn.
It's not the Black album, but it's a dope album. It's not
No, it's not, but it was still getting heavy burn.
All right, fellas, we got a few topics we missed, and we got about 9 minutes left. So let's transition after this super chat to talk about the new Wale.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael Williams with the $5 super chat. Which album is more lyrically impressive to you, Reasonable Doubt or Do or Die?
Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt. CJ the Kid, $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Was it Beyond Rest, a Cutmaster C, Coachy that did that G Unit versus D Block tape that you were listening to, Sean?
It was actually Big Mike and Pools.
D Block,
D Block, Big Mike and Pools.
Yeah. He did a lot of Sheik's joints.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, fellas, new Wale.
Yep.
Excited?
Nope.
No.
How's it sound?
Mid. I'll be honest. Was he snapping? Absolutely. But when I go back to it, no. That's all I got.
Yeah, like quick, Roy and Maul did like a little segment. It was Wale better than J. Cole.
It's ridiculous.
Roy was on the stance that Wale was, but he just didn't have as much marketing to get out there as J. Cole did. In the short answer, no, he's not as good as J. Cole. But no, I wasn't impressed with this joint. But at the same time, though, like he ain't as good as J. Cole. Like I was trying to come up with something that was a comparable reason, but nah, he's not. And to his point, because Roy was saying the thing that Cole is easier on the ears, which I agree with. Guys like Drake, he said Jay-Z, because they're crystal clear in their delivery, and Wale doesn't have that same delivery or inflection. So, and Wale is just somebody who kind of got lost in the shuffle. We said this with Big Sean, and if Big Sean's at a certain, stature, I think people were checking for Wale even less than Big Sean. So
everything we said about Big Sean, we can say about Wale. He missed his moment. He missed his opportunity. In no way is he better than J. Cole.
No.
Voice is not better. The songs are not better. The catalog is not better. In no way is he better.
No.
The end. I understand that Jermaine Cole's infraction earlier this year, it's a lot of people up in arms, including myself. But now the disrespect has officially gone too far.
Yeah.
Because the days of comparing Cole and Wale about anything, they left us about 10 years ago. If we're being real, we haven't compared Cole and Wale in over a decade.
Yep.
The only barometer that Cole has been measured by as far as this generation is concerned is Kendrick and Drake and nobody else. And so even with everything that happened, mentioning anybody else other than Kendrick and Drake from his era with him is a sign of disrespect in future. Sign of disrespect. It's disrespectful, but it's okay. We're going to slide to maybe my favorite topic. Stevie Wonder is going on tour, fellas.
Yes. The legend.
As much as I love Prince, as much as everybody loves Michael Jackson, this guy is still arguably the greatest artist who ever lived, in my opinion.
Right.
Yep.
Who's your top 5, Coop?
Oh, in order: Prince, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and then partial to Sade.
Okay.
That would be my personal 5, probably, of people. Those are the artists that I've like really grown up on too, and whose music I've literally listened to like my entire life, like with no breaks or whatever. I still listen to their music regularly, daily, weekly, and find myself to be impressed. I find them to be geniuses. Objectively, I probably would put Bob Marley ahead of Sade, if we're talking objectively. Um, yeah,
That's strong 5. Strong 5.
Tupac came to my mind.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Stevie's up there. He's coming to Atlanta. I'm definitely about to try to go. I did not get to see Michael Jackson live. I did get to see Prince live. Very fortunate. I would like to see 2 of my top 3. So the Stevie thing is a must for me. And I think a must for anybody who loves music, because I am pretty certain that this is the last tour.
Yeah.
This is it. This is
And
it.
he said Greensboro too, right? So, if you're in North Carolina, that'll be close.
I'd rather go to Greensboro than do it in Atlanta, be honest with you. All
Mhm.
these fake ass hustlers down here gonna try to make it some sort of baller extravaganza instead of celebrating Stevie.
Man, you gonna smell that brute cologne.
If I see one more nigga down here rocking fake ice, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's like, yo,
Except
fam, why don't you just save your money, wait till you can buy the real thing.
Smell like straight
Save
brute
your money.
juice.
Put your money in.
man.
Stop buying the cheap ass, fake ass. Just you can just save your money. Go get you some real jewelry. It's your fake ass.
Oh man.
So I might actually look at going to Greensboro just so I don't have to deal with the Hustlers convention down here.
That's what you're going to see. Stacey Adams, smell like
Gators.
Gators, smell like Juke, Brute, and Stetson.
Not Stetson. That's wild. Tell me what you think of Stevie, Sean. Talking about Stetson. Niggas ain't wore Stetson since fucking 88. Like,
exactly. And that's what's gonna be out there straight up.
That's crazy.
But nah, shout out to Stevie, man. It's great that Stevie's going back on the road. I think it's a 10 date tour.
Yes.
10-date tour. It's gonna be, like you said, last one. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. He's a legend, living legend. Give him his flowers. Give him his flowers now. Don't wait until, God forbid. Yeah. Give him his flowers now.
He is. I don't think he's the greatest artist who ever lived, but I do think he's the greatest songwriter that ever lived, in my opinion.
It's a heavy argument.
Right, specifically when it comes to a love song, it's not even a question. Like, as far as writing a love song, he has no competition, in my opinion, when it comes to writing a love song, and just in terms of songwriting in general. I would put him at number 1, even ahead of Prince.
Yeah,
as a songwriter. Yeah. So last thing, hip hop fashion for the week. Sean, you referenced Lil Wayne's outfit, so I think we should actually rate Lil Wayne's outfit. Sean, we're going to start with you, since you, like your Brooklynite friend Jay-Z, are hating on Wayne.
Yo, would you wear this?
Queens in Brooklyn? Never. Okay.
Exactly. Like that. I don't know what that is.
Well, here's what I want people to understand. When it comes to fashion, I need some of y'all to understand that if you wear what your favorite rapper wear, you might get your ass whooped in your neighborhood. So you should not do that. You don't have enough money to do that. You don't have enough cachet to look like a fool. You look like a fool right there. I'm gonna campaign for him, but he looks like a damn fool. That outfit, out of a 10, I give it a 2.
Man, look, all I'm saying is,
as in, if another nigga wear it, he get hit with a 1 and then a 2. 1, 2.
These guys, they put on all this stuff and be looking goofy out here, and everybody think it's the wave. Keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? But that's trash. That was trash. Honestly.
AG? Trashy, classy, or ashy?
Ashy and trashy. Both of those ashy combined. Yeah. But yo, we had both of them. Both. BOF.
Both of them.
But yeah, we talked about Wale, we didn't have favorable things to say, but yo, like, shout out to the DMV. I got some, cop these last week. The classic foams. Yes, sir. Talking about fashion, this might be a top 5, top 10 shoe of all time, just for what it did to the culture. Whole DMV area, that's part of the uniform. So yeah, man, like, shout out to the DMV. We ain't mean no disrespect to Wale, but yeah, that's a DMV staple right there, the foam posit.
That
really
looks
is.
like a shoe that Puff would have wore with the shiny suit. We're getting rid of those too.
Yo, come on, man. Those are foam posits.
These are the foam, man. Penny Hardaway, man. Don't do that, man.
Come on.
These the joints. These the joints to help you.
Suit.
These joints will help you get away from Puff for real.
They do. They got stronger to out on pause. Like
yeah, no doubt. Yo,
so does Puff. That's why the lube is there.
Jesus, yo. Before this go off the rails, man, for real, shout out to my homie, longtime friend, Anthony. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking his merch today. You know what I'm saying? Got the hat, got the shirt. You know what I'm saying? He got a dope piece I got wearing on here with the 90-minute Memorex Maxell tape on it, the mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my homie. You know what I'm saying? Anthony, you've been doing clothes for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? It's Culture Tees with the K for the culture and Z on the end of T's. Check them out on Instagram. Check them out on TikTok. Check them out on Twitter or X or whatever. That's the homie, man. Show him some love.
No doubt.
That's what's up. Support Black business. We got to get out of here, guys. But just quick footnote: we are tentatively going to be going to a festival in South Carolina in November. Hip Hop Talks has merchandise coming soon. Courtesy of my brother, Black Dad Gang. Continue to support Black business. Continue to support us. Click like and subscribe to the page. Share it with your friends. Tell a friend. Tell a hater, because we take haters too all the time. Mad Max.
Everybody.
Oh, man, why you do it, Max? That's crazy.
Yeah. No. He's terrible. Terrible.
Like, subscribe.
But like and subscribe. It's been another episode of Hip Hop Talks. We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. These joints are clean.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Start the sneaker war.
Oh yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. I had the phone, but let me, you know what I'm saying, something like that I had on with the culture tees. You know what I'm saying. Had the playoff eights on with the culture tees.
I knew you were about to do this.
So we gonna do this. We gonna do this every episode. You know what I'm saying?
You're a grown ass man.
You're talking about
pulling out sneakers. So first of all, you niggas are old. If y'all walked in them shoes all day, you would take them off and put them up in the fucking box and never wear them again. You niggas are old.
They do be hurting my feet. I ain't gonna front.
I know they do, because you're old and we can't wear shoes like that on a regular basis.
Nah, I refuse to wear like On Clouds, Hokas, New Balance, all them. Nah, I ain't doing it. Yo, Sean, I might have a plug to get the black toes early. So you want them joints? Holler at me.
No doubt.
The black toes ones. Yeah, for real.
Y'all done? Are you done?
Yo, we out.
All right, peace.
Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a friend.
Grown ass man.
That's Hip Hop Podcast out here. We out.
Peace.